Hello and welcome to a special episode of Weapons of War with Roman Romanovsky. Today we have something truly extraordinary in store for you. The long-awaited feature on the legendary F-16 fighter jet. This aircraft for sure will bring Ukraine closer to victory over Russian aggression. So buckle up, because this is going to be an exhilarating ride, exclusively on UATV. The iconic F-16, known for its exceptional agility, versatility and lethal capabilities, this jet rightfully earned its reputation as one of the most formidable aircraft in the world. Let's take a closer look. The F-16's ability to carry a diverse range of weaponry grants it unparalleled flexibility, whether engaging enemy aircraft or striking ground targets with pinpoint accuracy. The F-16's arsenal ensures mission success. As Ukraine welcomes the F-16 into its air fleet, it marks a significant milestone in our nation's defense capabilities. The arrival of these fighter jets demonstrates Ukraine's commitment to maintaining peace, stability and deterrence in the region.
The Ukrainian military and political leadership has been conducting extensive negotiations with allies to obtain F-16 fighter jets to protect Ukrainian skies from Russian aerial threats. The Office of the President, the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have all tried to convince partners of the need to provide Ukraine with F-16 aircraft. In the spring of 2023, the first advances appeared. Negotiations began on training Ukrainian pilots on F-16s as part of the initial phase of providing Ukraine with aircraft. After each brutal Russian missile attack on Ukrainian civilians, the leadership of the state insisted on getting F-16s. August 2023 was a milestone in this topic. During a visit to the Netherlands and Denmark, President Zelenskyy inspected the F-16s, and the leaders of these countries confirmed that the fighter jets would be handed over to Ukraine as soon as Ukrainian pilots finished training.
I can't tell you very concrete number of our Ukrainian pilots because I don't want to prepare Russia to this surprise, which we will prepare them in some period of time. But anyway, we have political decision. We understand the number of jets we can use in the future. Nearest or not, it depends on the situation and on the experience of our pilots. It's truth, and on preparing special infrastructure also for jets.
The Netherlands has confirmed its readiness to hand over 42 airplanes in the near future. Denmark will hand over 19 fighter jets. Earlier, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy asked about 60 airplanes of this type, that is 5 squadrons of the F-16 jets.
The F-16 Falcon plays a critical role in deterring Russian aggression through various missions. Its presence sends a clear message: Ukraine is ready, united and resolute in safeguarding its sovereignty. Together with the F-16 leading the charge, we will become much stronger against Russian aggression.
The Ukrainian pilots who are already undergoing training to fly the F-16 have demonstrated incredibly fast training skills, as noted by Western instructors and the military. So, if it takes 6 months to master this aircraft, we can assume that Ukrainian pilots will be able to complete the training many times faster. As a result, this attack aircraft will be able to appear in the Ukrainian sky this year. At least military experts give such estimates. The version of the F-16 aircraft that Ukraine will receive from the Netherlands and Denmark will be able to reach 150 kilometers of range deep into the occupied territories, if we are talking about air battles. So Russian airplanes and helicopters will not be able to come closer than 150 kilometers to the contact line. As for the destruction of ground targets, missiles capable of being launched by F-16 aircraft can reach a distance of 300 kilometers headquarters. This will allow destroying military targets in the occupied Crimea, and perhaps most importantly, it will prevent the Russian occupiers from transporting weapons across the Kerch Bridge. With the help of F-16 aircraft, the Kerch Bridge can be hit and destroyed, and this will cut off the Crimea occupied by Russian troops from Russia.
The F-16, a multi-purpose fighter aircraft, has the ability to launch medium-range missiles for air targets, short-range missiles for air targets, and it can also launch, for example, HARM air-to-air missiles, at the same time to carry guided aerial bombs, which means that this aircraft allows to reduce the number of aircraft required in this strike group. Firstly, and secondly, it will instantly react and will be able to perform any task, despite changing situation in the air and on the ground.
Now I join experts to our program, so welcome Paul Massaro, Mark Voyager and Tom Cooper. And the first question is for Paul Massaro. Mr. Massaro, tell us, how do you guess providing F-16 fighter jets will increase Ukraine's defense capabilities? And can Ukraine gain air superiority with these fighter jets?
So we've decided now to send F-16s. It took too long. F-16s have an extremely long delivery period. And the reason for that is you have to do all the pilot training. You have to build the logistical chains, which themselves for jets are extremely complicated, I understand, and include mechanics and runways and replacement parts and all this other kind of crazy stuff. I mean, these are really complicated weapons. Well, my understanding is the F-16 is an air superiority fighter that has a longer range and basically outmatches the MiG by like a lot, and also the Su. So if you have these F-16s, you basically are guaranteed to defeat the Russian Air Force and anything that Russia can throw at you.
Thank you, Mr. Massaro. And now I want to ask Mark Voyager. Mr. Voyager, why do you think the F-16 fighter jet is exactly the most desired aircraft for Ukraine?
Well, the F-16 would be more useful, I would say, for the Ukrainian offensive. I mean, yes, offense is the best defense. But in this case, as you said, they can use also air-to-ground missiles. So I think the main intention here is for the F-16s that you would receive to be used on the battlefield to achieve air superiority over the Russian airplanes. I mean, look, these obviously the F-16s are not new. It's not a new platform. It's been around since the early 80s at least, and it was obviously developed earlier. I mean, designed rather in the 70s. But still, it's considered it's a fourth generation. I mean, it's a sufficiently advanced and very popular airplane with many American allies across the world. It's it's smaller than the F-15, for example, and I think that the Russians are quite concerned. Of course, they would consider this like a qualitative change on the battlefield, and this will also give a strong psychological boost to you and to the morale of your troops, and likewise, this would demoralize in many ways the Russian pilots.
Mr. Voyager, thank you. And now I have a question to Tom Cooper. Mr. Cooper, tell me please, what are the advantages of F-16 fighter jets and where missile launched by F-16 fighter jet can reach?
So what you need is corresponding number of combat aircraft, which is at least, I would say, I mean, this is now a rough calculation, but 80 to 90 combat aircraft on your own, just to counter this. And I'm talking just about air-to-air warfare. And then you still need additional combat aircraft which would then fly attack sorties, ground attack on Russian positions, whether along the front line or deeper behind it. One pilot per aircraft, you need actually, ideally you have two. And this is just the pilots. Now think about some 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ground crew members per aircraft. So we are not talking just about a single squadron of aircraft, we are talking about an entire air force of dozens of squadrons.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. And now I have a question to all of you, dear experts. How do you assess the readiness of Ukrainian pilots to operate F-16 fighter jet? Mr. Massaro, please.
The approval has happened. It's happened. Ukraine is going to have F-16s. That is the only way that Russia could possibly walk out of this without total Ukrainian sovereignty restored. And I mean Crimea and Donbass. I mean 1991 sovereign, internationally recognized sovereign borders. So that's the black swan scenario, I think. I'm hopeful for the end of the year. That would be great. I don't doubt it's within Ukraine's capability, and the more momentum that builds up, the better off Ukraine is. And I mean, the second those F-16s arrive, it's going to be hard not to think the momentum is at its peak. Like when you have the Trident on an F-16 flying through the sky, that's going to be the American dream, the Ukrainian dream. That's going to look good. That's going to look good.
Mr. Massaro, thank you. And now your turn, Mr. Voyager.
I think your pilots, with their motivation, with their high level of patriotism, but also their professionalism, I think we will be surprised. The Russians will be surprised to see that the training time will probably be even condensed. They have to inflict enough damage on the Russian Air Force. So, as I said, the Russian pilots would be scared to go up in the sky, because they know that they will face American technology and the Ukrainian motivation and patriotism and professionalism. So this is the most potent combination, the most powerful combination currently existing.
Thank you for joining Two Weapons of War, and thank you for your expertise and insights. As we conclude this episode dedicated to the F-16 and the spirit of Ukrainian deterrence, let us take a moment to reflect on the path ahead. I'm confident that the F-16 Fighting Falcon will become a symbol of our nation's resilience and readiness to protect Ukraine's skies amidst challenges posed by Russian aggression. Thank you for joining us on this remarkable journey into the world of the F-16 Falcon. Remember that each and every weapon brings Ukraine closer to victory over Russian aggression. Until we meet again, be strong and stay inspired. It was Weapons of War with Roman Romanovsky on UATV. See you.